Hey there, I'm Luke. Today, we're going to be talking about a decision that parents are faced with every single time an IEP meeting is held. Should my child be in a self-contained or inclusion classroom? Now, like most things in special education, you may be asking yourself, what are these two terms? And what are the differences? By the end of this video, you will have the answers to these questions and a lot more. We're going to spend time defining both self-contained and inclusion classrooms, along with discussing what they look like in the school setting. We're going to discuss some of the pros and cons of each of those environments. We're also going to go through how you, as a parent, can help to make the best decision for your child. Lastly, we'll provide answers to some common questions involving both the self-contained classroom and the inclusion classroom. All of this in today's episode of Special Education Decoded. All right, let's dive into these two different classroom settings. Let's start with how this decision even comes to light in the first place. After a student goes through the testing process and are found eligible for special education services, the IEP team has to decide on a placement for the child, and it's important to consider the LRE. What is the LRE? Least restrictive environment within the IEP or individualized education plan. The least restrictive environment is what classroom setting would allow your child to reach their ultimate success. I bring this acronym up because it's very common when having a discussion around classroom settings. So, what does a self-contained classroom look like today? Well, many years ago, most special education students were in self-contained classrooms for most of the day, or all the day. However, that landscape has changed significantly over the years. Self-contained classroom is a classroom where a special education teacher is responsible for the instruction of all academic subjects. A self-contained classroom is typically separated from general education classrooms, but within the same school building. Simple enough, right? Now let's discuss the advantages as well as the disadvantages to a self-contained classroom. Let's start with the advantages of self-contained classrooms. Number one, the student may have more of an adapted curriculum. That's curriculum that fits their learning needs. Number two, the teacher has the freedom to be flexible and adjust the schedule within the classroom. Number three, the teacher may be able to group more than one subject together into one larger session. Number four, the teacher and the student may have a more personable relationship with having a smaller class size. Number five, students are given an alternative state assessment or benchmark test. They may not be required to take the same assessments as the general education students. Number six, students will have interaction with others in their classroom and possibly be able to participate in special classes or electives such as art, music, library, PE. Now let's move on to the disadvantages of self-contained classrooms. Number one, students are not able to interact solely with their peers in the general education setting. Number two, students may not get to attend those specials and electives with their general education peers. They may have to attend a specific time different than their grade level. Students may be in a classroom with multiple grade levels and maturity levels. Okay, so far we've taken a deep dive into self-contained classrooms. Now let's talk about the collaborative or inclusion classroom. An inclusion classroom is where the special education students are included or mainstreamed within the general classroom students. Different options for students within an inclusion classroom setting could include 100% fully inclusive. This is where students who spend all of their time in the general education classroom setting. These students receive support services within the classroom. The support is provided by the special education teacher during the student's academic blocks. Collaborative services are available for a certain amount of time within the classroom. And then we have 70 to 90% inclusive. These are students are in the general education classroom setting 70 to 90% of the time. Students can be pulled by the special education teacher to another classroom, most commonly used today within the public school system. Students may need remediation or resource time for a certain amount of the class period. Last, we have 40 to 70% inclusive. These students may have another outside placement or spend part of their day in a self-contained classroom. As an example, a student could spend their morning at an alternative school and be transitioned back into the school system by taking one course in the general education setting. Now that we've gone through what the term inclusion classroom refers to, let's look at some advantages and disadvantages of this particular classroom setting. Start with the advantages of the inclusion classroom. They are, number one, your child will be taught the same curriculum as their peers. Number two, your child will be able to socially interact with their grade level peers. Number three, your child will be exposed to more diversity within the classroom. Now on to the disadvantages of an inclusion classroom. Number one, students may have a difficult time keeping up in the general education setting. Number two, students may get frustrated and possibly disruptive within the classroom if they don't understand the material. Number three, students are often in a larger classroom and the teacher may not have time to offer individual attention. Number four, parents are concerned about their student and the amount of support given within the general education setting. The amount of support depends on the amount of time the special education students are spending in the general education setting, as we discussed previously. So how is this placement or classroom environment that a student goes into different today than in the past? Well, today, most schools push for students to be in an inclusion classroom, if at all possible. There aren't as many children placed in a fully self-contained room anymore, as this setting is mainly reserved for kids who have more severe developmental and academic concerns. As a parent, you have the right in making the decision that is best for your child. To aid in that decision, let's go through some common questions and answers dealing with a self-contained classroom and inclusion classroom. First, what if I am unsure about this decision and need more guidance? As a parent, you are part of the IEP team. Together, as an IEP team, you can decide what is best for your child. Also, ask school officials. Many school officials are able to give advice and suggestions based on what they think would be best for your child. Next, what if my child is struggling more in one subject than another? Could we differentiate services? Absolutely. Your child can have both. Some students receive resourced or self-contained services for reading, but receive collaborative services or inclusion, general education for math. Next, can I increase or decrease services after an IEP is written? Yes. As a parent, you can call an IEP meeting anytime that you feel a change in services or placements are needed. A special education teacher can call a revision to add or decrease the amount of services for that student as well. Next, will my child continue to get services and help if they transition to another school or the middle or high school? Absolutely. Your child will receive special education services as they travel throughout the school system, unless, of course, they test out of special education services. That's it. I truly hope this video helped you understand exactly the differences between self-contained classrooms and inclusion classrooms. If you like what you saw, please consider subscribing to our channel and share this video. If you have any suggestions on what you'd like to see in a video, please leave a comment. And also, if you have any questions, please leave a comment, or you can contact us directly using the contact information located down in the description of this video. We absolutely love interacting with our incredible community and strive to help simplify the crazy, murky world of special education. From all of us at specialedresource.com, thank you for watching this episode of Special Education Decoded. We'll see you next time.